Hey everyone, it's Simone Watson, and this is my Booktubeathon TBR. So, Booktubeathon is a readathon that's taking place this week, and it's hosted by Ariel Bissett, I think. And she is definitely hosted by Ariel Bissett. I just wasn't sure how to pronounce her name for a second, so sorry, Ariel Bissett. This is I kind of forgot it was happening this week, to be honest. I've been very busy in the month of July, and I kept thinking, oh, I have plenty of time until Booktubeathon. And then it's like, oh, that starts today. Okay. So I have made a TBR. There are 12 books on my Booktubeathon TBR. I don't think I'm going to be able to read all 12. I don't think I'm even going to be able to read 7. I may not even be able to get to 3 of them because, like I said, July's been busy and this is a particularly busy week. I'm revising a book that I wrote. Well, no, it's a good thing, so I shouldn't stick my tongue out. But that's part of the reason I am doing this challenge, because when you are revising a book, it's easy to get so wrapped up in that like you don't really read anything and you kind of are like your mind is like stuck in that one story. And I think taking breaks can be healthy, to try and take breaks, especially if your book is dark and sad and heavy. So, yeah, there we go. So without further ado, I will tell you the 7 Booktubeathon challenges, and then I will tell you the books and how they go with those challenges. So challenge number 1 is read a book with a person on the cover. Challenge number 2, read a hyped book. Challenge number 3, finish a book in one day. Challenge number 4, read a book about a character who's very different from you. Challenge number 5, read a book completely outdoors. Number 6, a book you bought because of the cover. And number 7 is read 7 books. Okay, so the first book that is on my Booktubeathon TBR is The Dying Game by Asa Advich. I believe I told you guys last week I'm already reading this. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. It's like really hot out here, and yeah. I think I told you I'm already reading this, The Dying Game by Asa Advich, and I have stalled on it and would like to pick it back up and keep reading it because it comes out next Tuesday. And hopefully I can do a review before then. Hopefully. So that's kind of the number 1 priority book on this list. Next, I have The Pursuit of God by A.W. Tozer. This is a short book, and I have tried to pick short books for at least some of my books because, like I said, I'm short on time this week, and because, read a book in one day and read a book outdoors are 2 of the challenges. So The Pursuit of God is about 30,000 words, I think, and I may be able to read it in one day or outside or both, and that would be great. I do have to be careful though, because sometimes due to neurological stuff, sometimes I don't feel very well when I'm outside for a long time, but I love being outside, and other times I feel perfectly fine. Like right now I feel perfectly fine. I've only been out for a few minutes, but I feel perfectly fine. So we'll just see what happens with that. So yes, The Pursuit of God by A.W. Tozer. That I'm going to read on the computer. It's from Project Gutenberg because it's an old book. So there we go. Both of those 2 actually I'm going to read on the computer. The other 10 on my list are physical books, and I kind of went shopping in my house to find books, meaning I just looked around. Oh, yes, thank you. The sun just is going behind a cloud, and I'm very happy. I went shopping around my house to find books. My parents have some pretty big bookshelves. I have a crate of books in the garage, and my sister has a bookshelf. You will notice a lot of these books have to do with being Black or African American or slavery, which is great for 2 reasons. One, because the book that I'm revising is about slavery on Mars. So to learn a little bit more about slavery and about how it has affected generations of African Americans since then will help inform my writing, my revising. And the other reason for that is my parents, particularly my dad, he really likes to read books by prominent Black authors, books about Blackness, about being African American. And I think that's really cool. I would like to read more books like that. And my sister, a lot of her books on her shelf are from when she was in college, and she majored in African American studies. So there we go. I have plenty of books to fit the bill. But I've put some books on here I'll just get into the TBR and you'll get it. So first we have Hunted by Megan Spooner. I had to look at it for a second because I thought it said The Hunted. It's Hunted by Megan Spooner. This book I've had since I think March because I bought one uppercase box, and I don't buy new books very often. So this would be a great book to read. It's got a person on the cover, and yeah, hopefully it's a little lighter than some of my dark, heavy slavery related choices. So there we go. Next, I have Idaho by Emily Ruskevich. This is one that my brother gave me for my birthday last week. This might count for the cover buys challenge because my brother said that this cover looked nice, and that's why he picked out this book for me. It's about a married couple who live in like the mountains in... Do they live in Idaho, or is that just... I don't know. They live in some mountainous place, and the wife is trying to figure out what happened to the husband, like in his first marriage when like one of his daughters died, and there's some kind of mysteriousness. I have started this one a little bit. I don't know. It's just really mysterious and scary so far. So that should be different, but fun. Okay, third, I have this book. I have picked it out. It's called Prometheus Bound by Aeschylus. It's super old, like ancient. Someone translated it. This is actually mine from college. I can't really remember that much about it. I probably didn't read the whole thing when it was assigned to me in college, so there we go. But like I said, it's a short book, and it's it's a play, I think. So hopefully it will be a quick read, and that is why it's on this list. Next, I have Monster by Walter Dean Myers. This is another book with a person on the cover. This might count as a hyped book because it is a National Book Award finalist. I've wanted to read this book for a while and didn't know that I owned it until a few minutes ago when I was looking for this book. I've like kind of wanted to read it and then like forgot about it, you know. Anyway, I didn't know that we owned it, so that's great. And hopefully it will be a quick read as well because of the format. It's some of it is in screenplay format, so that should make it pretty quick, and I'm excited. And yeah, this is one of those ones that deals with the African American experience because I believe it has to do with a guy that is a black teenage boy who is on trial for murder. That's what I got from the back. So, the back cover. Okay, next I have this one. This is Baldwin, Collected Essays. Okay, so if you have heard of James Baldwin, you may have heard of him because one of the documentaries that was nominated this year for best feature length documentary in the Oscars was called I Am Not Your Negro, and it was based on I think it was based on an unfinished book by James Baldwin. I still need to watch that film because that would be great. But James Baldwin is like super, he's a super like prominent black author and just like has said some really interesting stuff. I have meant to read something by him for a while just because, again, he's prominent, and to know more about the African American experience would be great. But I tried one of his books before, like a couple of months ago. It might have been last month. It's called Go Tell It on the Mountain. I tried that one, and it seemed like it was a little bit too heavy to me, I could relate to it a little bit too much, and I was going to get really sad. So I did opt to not read that one for now. But anyway, yeah, this one is some collected essays by him. It's a little bit of a longer book, 600 pages, I think. 700, that's a lot of pages. 800 something pages. But they're essays, so maybe there's stuff in between them. Or maybe, I don't know, we'll just try it out and see what happens. Okay, so 5 books left. Here is a tiny one. This is A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. It's tiny, so hopefully I can read it quickly. This may be the one I end up reading in one day. It is only like 113 pages, so see that? Small. So let's hope. I have another pretty short book. This is Rainbow Valley by Ellen Montgomery. This is book 7 in the Anne of Green Gables series. I have read it before. I've read the whole series before, all of the 8 chronological books. There are some tie-ins that I haven't read, but this one, I don't know. I found it when I was searching, and I was like, I liked this one. This one was a lot of fun. Has to do with Anne's children and them playing with some other children, and like all of the adventures that they like have and etc. So that could be fun. It's not so long. It's 200 and something pages. It's really not very long. So yeah, it's kind of a kid's book, I guess. So that's why. Um, Let us see. Okay, Full Tilt by Neil Shusterman. Yeah, so I've mentioned that Neil Shusterman is my favorite author. This one, let me see, is it signed? No, it is not signed. Um, this is probably the only Neil Shusterman book in my house that I haven't read. I think it's scary and has to do with like a maybe not scary, but it's like a thrillery thing. It has to do with an amusement park or something, and it could be interesting. And it could be one of those things that is a quick read, just because, of course, I like this author. What page? How many pages? Yeah, it's about 200. It's about 200 pages, so not so long. Uh, then we have. I've got two more, so I guess I'll pick this one first. I've got a home in Gloryland. Now, the challenge said a book that you bought because of the cover. Again, I did not really buy any of the books on this list. I just went shopping around my house. But this one I did pick up because of the cover. If you can see, it's got yeah, just this really nice scene of like um some trees and this tiny little like dock that goes into a river or something. I don't know. It just looks really cool. That probably is a river. Maybe the Mississippi River. I don't know. But I've got a home in Gloryland. Yeah, it's got a pretty cover. And it has to do with slavery, with the Underground Railroad. So, again. And I have mixed it up. Like I said, not all of these are about slavery or even about heavy, like, serious topics. Just because if I need a break from this kind of stuff, because I'm writing about slavery and reading about slavery, then I can go take a break and read about something totally different. So that's the plan here. And finally, we have The Souls of Black Folk by Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. This book I tried to read a long time ago, and I just really had a hard time understanding it. The language of it is quite dense, but I'm going to try again. And I actually think I plan to listen to it, or at least listen to some of it, because you can listen to it on Project Gutenberg. Um, but yeah, it's got a person on the cover, and my sister has a copy, and it's 260 something. It's, I don't know, maybe 270 pages. It's not super long. So, but again, it is very dense. It is very advanced language wise. So it might be a challenge, and I might not get all the way through it, and that is okay. So these are the 12 books, maybe 11 and some fraction, because I already started. I already started the dying game. But yes, these are the 12 books on my Booktubeathon 2017 TBR list. I would love to know about your Booktubeathon TBR list if you are also doing this challenge. And thank you so much for watching. And I guess I'll check in next week and say how it went. Okay, so bye.